Good morning, everyone. Mike here. Welcome once again to my Parkinson's journey. Thanks for being here. If you're enjoying this, please hit like, subscribe, share. I really appreciate it. Trying to grow this thing a little bit at a time, and all your help is greatly appreciated. So, let's get right into it. Here we are, 3 days before Christmas. Hard to believe, I know. Once again, another season has completely come and gone. And, for us, it's different, not only with dealing with Parkinson's, with dealing with, the first season without my mother-in-law, but it's going to be a good one. We were at a family party last Saturday. Greatly enjoyed that. It was great to see everyone. Shout out to the McDonald family out there. Anyone who's watching today, thank you. And Christmas Eve, we have plans to be at a friend of my wife's. Christmas Day, my brother-in-law and my nephews are coming over, which will be great. We will all be together, which is what my mother-in-law would have wanted, which will, we'll have a good day. Enjoy each other's company and just have a good day. And that's what you want. The season's all about that. It's not really about who can buy the biggest gift or the nicest thing or whatever. We're just all trying to enjoy ourselves and, be happy. That's ultimately the big thing. So, let me get into, I guess my topic this week kind of is surviving the holidays. And this is a new experience for me. This week especially is exceptionally busy. We have a lot of things to do to get done, and we're trying to do them in a timely manner and so I'm not irritable, tired, that my Parkinson's is as manageable as possible. Taking my medication at the same times. I'm keeping a much more diligent record of those things. I'm trying to, write down what I eat. I've started to, I'm interacting more with other people with the disease and just generally trying to learn more and how to cope with this whole thing. Like I keep saying, this is a brand new experience for us here. I don't know. I guess it's a combination of the two that I'm much more between losing my mother-in-law and my diagnosis, that I'm much more appreciative of the season. I'm trying to be much more aware of things my wife may want to do. And she's also very aware of what I'm capable of doing. So we're trying to come to a happy medium there. And it's, it's a challenge. You can't say otherwise because it just is. But, we'll get through it. We're communicating, we're talking. She's just getting back to work. Thank God she's able to go back, and last week was a good week, and she's easing her way back into it. And, we're trying to handle that too. So it's not complications. Everybody's life is complicated. Let's not kid ourselves. We just are. Our lives just are. There's so many things, so many places pulling us, people pulling us. And, we just need to try to make the best of it, do it as calmly as we can. And, you'll get through it. That at least that's how I'm looking at it. The interesting thing, though, is, I'm trying to figure out how to pace myself. Tomorrow is a great example of it. We're we're trying to go over um, to Philadelphia to see the light show at the Wanamaker building on Market Street. And my wife is going to be working till at least 3 o'clock, and then we got to run over there. And there's some other errands that if we can't get them done today, we'll have to be done tomorrow. So we're trying to figure out how we can do that without running me into the ground, so I'm able to handle going over where we have plans for Christmas Eve. And that's a challenge, juggling this, knowing what I'm going to feel up to. I'm encouraged that Saturday at the family party, I was really in good spirits, did not feel overly tired, sat as much as I could, just knew how to pace myself. I'm cutting way back on soda I'm drinking. I'm trying to drink primarily water. I've changed to stevia as the sweetener in my tea. I'm trying to cut sweets and sugars and other things to give myself a fighting chance with this. Going to go to the gym tomorrow and probably another time this week. Keep moving. That's also extremely important. I can't stress that enough. And, if you are out there with this malady that I have, listen to other people, reach out to other people with the disease. They will be your best resource. Everybody is different what they go through, but I know that having friends with this disease, that it makes my life, I feel a lot less alone, and that's a good thing. My spirits are mostly good. But that leads into my other thing. Last week, though, for the most part, for the whole week, was by far the biggest challenge since I've had this diagnosis of Parkinson's. The whole week was, I was off. I didn't feel right. I didn't feel myself. I knew I wasn't sick. I just didn't feel like me the whole week. Give you an example. Yesterday, we were out running some errands, and I just felt like the whole day, like I was ready to cry the whole day. And, we got through it. I got through it. Took some deep breaths, just, didn't rush myself, didn't push myself to a crazy amount. I don't know what else to do. Like previously during the week, one day I had a really severe panic attack, and I reached out to a friend from my exercise group, and talking to him really calmed me down, brought me back to earth. It's going to be a challenge now with my wife being back to work. I'll be by myself a fair amount during the day. I've got to make sure I go to the gym. I'm going to be reading more. I think in the next couple of weeks I will talk about a book that I'm currently reading that has to do with Parkinson's disease. That is a very, very sobering indictment of how the Parkinson's thing has gotten out of hand. But I'll save that for a couple weeks. Reading, playing video games, just trying to mentally engage myself more, and that's key too. Like I don't want to be, I don't want to go downhill faster than I need to. I'm trying to pump the brakes on this thing to stop it, not to cure it. Can't do that. but to just, pump the brakes on it and slow it down and, you know, have the best life I can. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm not trying to be miserable. I'm not trying to sit and feel sorry for myself, pull the covers over my head. Oh, woe is me, because that's just stupid. You know, I can't, I can't say anything more than that. Um, you know, so, that's what how my week last week was. But I've come out of it. Um, I've had 2 really good days, 2 out of the last 3, so I'm encouraged by that. Um, I'm keeping records of everything I eat and time I go to bed, things like that, because maybe there's a trigger in there somehow for how I was feeling last week. And if I can figure that out, maybe I can avoid it happening again. And that's important too. So if you're not tracking those things, I highly recommend you do that. Um, you know, uh, you're again, I've said before, you're your own best advocate. So give your doctors and your caregivers a fighting chance by giving them as much information as you can. And that's why you want to do that. So I'm going to try to keep it brief this week because, you've all got better things to do with Christmas coming than listen to me. I'd like to, though, recommend a fellow vlogger out there, 2 actually. There is a lady who is on YouTube and Facebook, and I believe she is on Substack also. Her name is Esther, and her screen title, I guess you call it, is Shaking in My Boots. She is engaging. She is charming. She is real. She does not pull any punches. When she's having rough times, she will say so. When she's having good times, she will say so. And she's very frank, and that's what I like about what she puts out there. There's no BS whatsoever. She has also launched a podcast with another vlogger by the name of Heldlight. His name is Brent. Brent is a caregiver of his wife, who has had Parkinson's for years. They do a podcast giving you both sides, from the caregiver's viewpoint and from the person with Parkinson's viewpoint. They're frank exchanges. They're serious. They're funny at times, but they're very real. I recommend them highly, not only for someone with Parkinson's, but for caregivers. And, I keep talking about that, and I've got to get my wife on here soon, because what they go through and what they deal with is just as important, maybe even more important than what those of us with the disease are. This is a real partnership. It has to be, between the patient, the caregiver, the doctors. And, like I said, I recommend Esther Shaking in My Boots and Heldlight, especially their podcast. There are 2 episodes out of that right now. Highly recommend it. I will provide links in my descriptions today. Strongly recommend them. Strongly. So, please, like I said before, if you're enjoying what I'm doing, please like, share, and subscribe. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. just want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas. Um, you know, take the time to enjoy it, enjoy your families, enjoy your friends. Don't wait to tell them how you feel. You know, don't. Trust me. You know, I will see you next week. I will probably talk about, how Christmas went here. Um, I can't say anything yet because I have some things, I, I don't want to tip my hand. So, have a good week. Merry Christmas, everyone. And I will see you next Monday.